Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. So today, like I said before, I did have a little idea that I wanted to play with for the Bethlehem Celestial Angel. Just before I did that, I just wanted to have a little chat about the all-purpose glue that I do use on a regular basis. Okay, so I had a comment on one of my posts saying that somebody had used this glue, I think it was Denise, and that her card had bent and then it had come away, and that she had messaged Crafters Companion Direct and on one of the shows, you know, on Crafters TV, and they had said, you know, obviously it's not for porous materials. Okay, so while I do acknowledge that that's what they're saying, a lot of people still do use it for card making, just being careful to avoid the issues with the mirror card. And obviously Denise had problems where her card had completely come away. So these were the two last cards that I made just about a week ago, and obviously you can see that it's bending, but it's not coming away any more than I would expect it to. You know, and even on the base there's no cracking sound, and that's pretty sturdy. And the same with this one. I mean, that one is pretty stiff, set like concrete, like Leanne always says, it sets like concrete. The same there. There is this little bit that was an offcut, and I did try to bend it, and it actually ruckled all the paper up. It creased all the paper rather than separate. And to separate it, I've really got to pull it away. So just for that reason, because I haven't had a bad experience with this glue, I am going to carry on using it as I usually do. But what I will do is, just whenever I do use it, I will just you know, point out that that's what that has been said. You know, and obviously if you've had any experiences like that, then please do feel free to let me know. But I've never had a bad experience with it yet. So you know, although I'm not telling you to use that glue, you know, obviously the glues that you use are the ones that you are familiar with, and everybody has a favourite glue for whichever purpose. So please just carry on using those. But I'm just saying that I am going to carry on using this one because I love it so much and I've not had a problem with it. Okay, so that's been said, let's get on with the demo itself. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer. So what I'm going to start off by making is a faux easel card. Okay, so that's going to be the base of her card. So I need to put my arm out. So we need 7.5. This is for the base part, so I'm going 7.5 that way, and I'm going 6 inches that way. Just put these out of the way. And then this second bit is going to be long enough. I'm going to have to bring in a super big bit of card. So these are, let's see how long that is. Let's move it out of the way a second. I think these are 17 inches long. Let me just double check that. So we've got 12 there. So 13, 14, 15, 16.5. And I need it to be 14. No, 15. So I need to take 1.5 inches off. So let's just move those out of the way. So this should now be 15 inches long. And what I'll do is I'll score it, and then I'll be able to trim it with the bigger trimmer, because it will be double page, double pieces of card. Okay, so that's that way. So it needs to be scored at 7.5 inches. So I'm just going to go 7.5 there, turn it over and go 7.5 there, and I can fold that over. All the way along, just giving that a good burnish down. And then if there's any extra on there, I can just measure that and trim it as well at the same time. So I'm bringing my old ugly trimmer in, as I call it, and we need to go to 5.5, so 5.5, and then this needs to be 7.5. So we just try to trim that neatly there. Just got a little edge poking over, so I'll just neaten that up. Okay, so that's our card pieces all assembled. Okay, so this smaller piece, so we've got the 7.5 that way, so we're going to turn it round so that we've got the 6 going across the top. The 7.5 is going lengthways, so we're scoring at 1, 2 and 4. I'm just going to reinforce those, and then we can just give those a burnish down. And there's the bottom part of our stepper. Just good burnish. To stand quite nicely, and then our other piece is going to go over the top like so. Okay, if you wanted to, you could make this, let's see what it would have to be. So at the moment this is 6, so if you wanted to make another step behind that, say an inch higher, you can add another 6 inches on and then just do another score, just to give you that extra depth. But I'm quite happy with the smaller stepper today, so it's slightly different from the ones that I've done before, so these aim to be a little bit different each time. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to just cut the layers for these pieces here, and I am going to do on both because both of these will be seen. And I'm going to bring in this sort of brushed gold. It's not a Crafter's Companion one. I'm not quite sure where it's come from. I think it might have been the range from some time ago. So I'm just going to cut that at 2 notches under 1 inch and 2 notches under 2 inches. Put that to the side a second. And then if I just pop my arm out there, it's going to be 2 notches under 7.5 and 2 notches under 7.5. Okay, and then if I bring in my Bethlehem book of papers, just pick some nice papers to go with this angel. Let's have a look, see what we've got. I quite like that one, although you won't see a lot of it. Let's go with those 2. I haven't used that one yet. Oops, pop that out the way. And so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 1, because I'm going to be using the other side on that one just to contrast, and then 4 notches under the 7.5, which is just about 7 1/4, and again there. And hopefully they should fit quite nicely onto there. then that one should fit quite nicely onto there as well. Yes. Okay, so the other thing actually, just before I do anything else, is I'm just going to cut this piece of card to, just going to say 5 1/4 by just over 2 notches over the 7. And I also have a piece of the navy pearlized card. I'm going to cut that the same, so 2 notches over the 5 and 2 notches over the 7. And this is for me to cut my angel from, just to make it easier, and I can put it through on my junior plates. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to decorate this up just so that that's nice and dry by the time that we come round to stick our main part on. Glue's a bit glued up. Okay, so again, you know, from like what I was saying earlier, just be super careful with this glue, because it will take the finish off any mirror, pearl, if it gets into contact with them. So it's splooged a little bit more there than I wanted it to, but what you don't want is for it to come out from the edges. So you know, because obviously once you see glue on the edges, the temptation is to brush that away, and then that takes the finish off. So we'll just leave that one for a second. See, like there, so that is not ideal, but I'm going to leave that, and it'll hopefully be covered up by our topper anyway. So again, going straight onto there. Nice flatten down, and then we can go on to our actual card base. Oops, being a bit clumsy today. Like I say, if you are in any doubt with this glue, then you know, use it underneath the Miri, because you've got the paper on the back of that Miri card, and then use your PVA, or just totally use your PVA. You know, it's not a problem. Okay, so I can pop that one just there, and that will sit and dry. So I'm just going to get set up now for the die cutting. Okay, so we've got our die. Hopefully it should be clean. Yeah. Put that one over there. I've got some cut tidy there, just to give me an extra bit of pressure, because I'm using coated materials to die cut through. So let's put our plates the right way around. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to do this pearlized could have done with an extra millimetre or 2 on this card blank, but I'm just going to check it's all covered underneath, so that's fine. I'm popping that into my cut tidy, cut side down on my mat, and then we're just going to pop that through. Okay, put those over there a second. It's made quite a nice, satisfying crunchy noise. It looks like it's cut perfectly. Let's just get rid of that. I'm just gently going to ease these pieces out. And I'll bring my pokey tool in at this corner. just going to use that round. And these parts are very filigree, so just be super gentle with them. Okay, and you can see that that's cut perfectly. And then what I need to do, if I just take off a second, bring in one of my die brushes, get as many of these out as we can. And these bits are not keeping, you know, you could decant them into a pot and keep them in case you wanted to do paper piecing. But I'm not going to be doing that. And let's get the pokey tool. Still quite a bit to come out. Okay, so I'm just going to fast forward to get all these pieces out because we need to use it again. Okay, so as you can see, that's all nice and clean now. So just going to go ahead and do the same on the gold. Again, I could have done with just a little bit more around the edge, but it does fit in, so I'm pretty sure that's all covered. So back into my cut and tidy again. Get rid of that one there, and then the plates come in. Just want to make sure that's not moved. And it had. Just pop that through. Okay. So again, that looks like it's cut really nicely, so this is good. So I'll just pop that one out of the way. Get rid of that one. Give it a little bit of a tap this time because this card is just slightly thinner. Okay. There we go. And obviously just make sure if you are going to be tapping your dies on the side of the table, do it with the cut side facing you so you're not damaging the blade, or it's not really a blade, the edge. You can dull them a little bit that way, so yeah, just make sure you're banging them that way up. Okay, so let's just go all the way around. There we go. I don't need to take that out just yet. I can do that afterwards. So what I'm going to do is layer this over. And there's two reasons why I'm doing that. One, because I wanted that gold edge to show through, and the other is just to give me a slightly wider place to be able to use some foam pads in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in we need my little blue applicator, which has disappeared, so let me just grab that. Okay, so you could be using your dotty tape pens, any sort of any PVA glue would be perfect for this. So what I'm going to do is just pop it onto the back of here, just going around as many of these lines as I can. And some people either put glue on the back of their hand and dip it in, or I think Corinne even puts it on a glass mat and then dips it in sometimes. So yeah, it's just getting as much glue on as you can without, you don't want it seeping through. I mean, even though this is clear glue, so it wouldn't show anyway, but anywhere where there's sort of big enough space really, just put. And you want to work quite quickly because obviously this is tacky glue that does dry a bit quicker. It's not like the alcohol based glues that give you that sort of maneuverability time, but I would never use an alcohol based glue for doing this because this is so filigree. It's just definitely going to come out through the sides in places, and like I say, you don't want it to take that finish off. There we go, I think we're nearly there. 2, and then I'm just going to lay that over the top and just pull it to the left and down just a smidge, all nice and even. I'm just going to give that a nice press down. Okay, and I am going to leave that gold edge there because once I've got my bits on, I am going to put a little bit of ribbon down the side there, so that will hide that edge. Okay, so just give that a good little press down, make sure that stays where it is. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do, and for this I am going to be using my Dotty tape pen, and if I just grab a little piece of scrap card, I used this paper from the other day, and I'm just very lightly going to go over all of these edges, just trying to go the way of the swirl, so don't want to be dragging them up if I can help it. Obviously these chunkier bits in the middle are better supported than these filigree bits at the side, so, and I can always go and add a little bit more glue in once I've got this backing on, if I think it needs it, to the filigree areas. Let's have a little look at that. I'm just aiming for some sort of good coverage really. Okay, so I think that will do. And I'm just going to come behind with this piece of parchment and take that over the top like so. Just give it a really good smooth down and give them dots a good burnish, because obviously it's a vellum that they're sticking to. Okay. And then what I can do is I can come in with some sharp scissors and just undercut underneath. So you've got the guideline to show you there. If you want to, you can always, I prefer to go from the front actually, but you can go from the front if you want to. There. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. Okay, So I think we do need something to go behind here. And I think if I bring that pad back in, let's see if we can find something that's maybe a little bit light. I don't want it as dark as that. I think that is going to be too patterned. We just want something really subtle. So let's have a look at the papers and we can have a look as we go through. Oops. It's a bit too subtle. Don't really want the gold. That's it there. That's a bit too busy. That one. I think that one might be quite nice, so take that one just in case. Just carefully. I'm just going to just double check that there's not something a little bit better. Don't like that one for this. So one for this. I can see that. Actually, I like that one better. Shame that both the pair of papers I like have got the angels on, because I love that pattern. But both of these papers have got the angels on. Never mind. Okay, so we know this is 5.5 by 7.5. So I'm going to bring my trimmer in again. And I think I'll grab another piece of that sort of brushed gold. So if I go to 2 notches under the 5.5. 2 notches under the 7.5, and then again with this one it needs to be this way up, so 2, 3, so 5.25 by 7.25 should be fine. Yep, happy with that. Okay. And then I'm just going to pop that onto there. Give it a good little press down. Oops. And then the next thing I'm going to do is bring in this ribbon that I was going to use, and this is an old ribbon. It's got You Create on it, so I think we've had it quite a while, and I want a piece to go down that edge there. If I bring in, do you remember I said if I needed to I could always put a bit of glue on these bits that are sticking up. There we go. And for this ribbon I'm just going to use the thin red liner tape. So I'm just going to pop a piece along there. And a piece along, oops, piece along there. And I'm just going to give that a really good burnish down. Take that off. Just choosing the sort of shinier side. That's going in and along, and I'm just taking care just to cover up that rough edge that I had, and also just make sure that it's not coming through on the other side. So that's going to sit on there like so. Okay, so the next thing I need is going to be some foam pads. Okay, so I'm going to get that ready because I will need that with my foam pads. Okay, and I've got this foam in a roll from Crafter's Companion, and I'm just gonna go as close to the edge as I can because I don't want it to be seen on the inside. And I'm just going around all of these edges. Oops. Fingers and thumbs today. Just go nice around the edge. And then I'm just going to take some smaller pieces, just pop them in places where they're going to be hidden, just for a little bit of extra support. So we can pop a little bit on that star, a little bit on that trumpet. You can put as much as you or as little as you like, so you probably would get away with just doing the outsides. I just always feel like it needs to be supported inside as well, and it will give me places to pop my lights through as well, so it will help me with those. Because I'm not doing a shaker card, I should have said that, it's not a shaker card. I'm going to be putting some lights in this one, just for something a little bit different. And then that one there, so I'm just going to check you can't see those through. And that's looking pretty good. So the next thing I've got these lights. Okay, so these lights came in a pack, I think it was a pack of around about 20 of them. From Amazon. I think it's like 20 for about a tenner, £12, something like that. So that's what I'm going to be using on the inside of my topper. Just going all the way around. And I'm not going to take the, well, actually I'll take the backs off those ones, but the little ones I'm not going to bother even taking the backs off because they're only there for support anyway. So it's not going to make a big difference if I leave them on or take them off. If you want to take them off, obviously take them off. That one I'm just going to take off because the top will come off anyway. Okay, so next we need to position these lights in. Okay, so what I wanted ideally was for the controller to be on the outside, so I want them to be coming in from the top. So let's turn this round the right way, and if I pop those just round about there, and if I pop a tiny bit of red liner tape over those, then hopefully we should be able to get those to stay there without them being seen. Let's pop that in there and up to there. Take the back off that tape because it's stuck itself to my foam. Unless I get that to go down there. Okay, let's put some glue there. And then what we're going to do is just curl these in all around. Like I say, those foam pads being there are quite a bit of a godsend really, because you can weave them around so that you've got lights pretty much everywhere. And these are wire based, that does mean you can give them a really good bend and they pretty much do stay where you want them to go. Okay, so I think that's around about where we want to be. There. Doesn't want to stay still. There we go. So I'm going to bring this over and then very carefully pop that onto the centre of our topper. There we go. So, oops, moved our ribbon. Let's just pop that back. Sure, that's stripped a bit of foam underneath, but that's fine. There we go. And then that will go on the back. And then when we light it up, we've got the pretty lights coming through. Okay, and if you wanted to put another set of lights behind that, you could do. I'm just going to leave it with the one. Okay, let's turn those off for a minute. And then I'm going to go ahead, put my all-purpose on the back of there. And that is going on to there, like so. And then I'm just going to grab a nice chunk of this red liner tape, put that onto the back of my little controller there. Let's give it a good burnish down. I've got no nails to get it off, and it's just been a bit difficult. And then we're just going to pop that onto the back. So that's nice and easy access just to get to it. Okay, so now we need to assemble our card together. So you've just got a bit of glue poking through there, so I'm just going to move that off. Okay, give this a good burnish down again. And I'm going to pop some red liner tape just across the centre there. And then I'm just going to grab another piece ready. That will go across the back. Just give that a good burnish down ready. Okay, and then as always, just going to pop some all-purpose glue just along that bottom inch. And we're just going to line that up pretty centrally. I think it's a bit more off to the left, but let's see if we can amend that. There we go. There we go. We got it. And then if I peel that off the back there. And then again with the all-purpose just on this side, put them nice and flat. Good press down. Okay, so that's how our card is standing. Okay, standing like so. So the last thing I need to do now is just to do a little sentiment. So I'm going to bring in these here. I've got some card left over there, and if I grab my stamping platform, there we go. Oops, grab that off. Pop our card in. we do? We could go with Peace on Earth, or we could go with Christmas Blessings from Our House to Yours. I think that would be perfect. Just going to pop that into the corner. Oops, that way round. No, that way round. Pop that up. And then I am going to come in with the black. And again, just nice and bold. Lovely. And that was with the alcohol proof dye, just purely because that's the one I've got to hand. And just pop that one out of the way and bring the trimmer back in. So just going to give that a little trim around about there. Go around about there, and I think we will take some off there. Just making sure that is straight. There we go. And I will bring, the gold back in. I've got a little scrap piece here. I'm just going to mark it with my nail. And just give that a little trim. Just get a little bit more off there. And bring in a little bit of midnight blue, if I can bring in that there, that one there. Just grab my little dauber. Oops, nice and straight. I just want to go around the edges a little bit just to tie it in. This is the worst one to use. Let's just go in with a bit of card instead. Bring that down. Just bringing the blue in a little bit so it's not quite so stark. And then I can, let's use the tacky glue, just popping that into the centre there. This is going to go across the top, so I'm popping that on, just putting some glue across like so, and then if I bring out my little bow maker and grab a bit more of that ribbon, just going to bring across there and under. Okay, just tie that off. Oops. Just tie that nice and tight. And put those tails down just a little bit. And just neaten those up. And then we will bring in just get those tails to go in the right place. There we go. I'm just going to use a bit of tacky glue because it's got plenty of time to set. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will use some glue gel instead. Okay, bear with me. Okay, so just needed a bit of gluing. Just pop a little bit under there. I'll leave that one to sit there. And then lastly, just for a little bit of decoration, just going to bring in some of these pearls. 2, 3. I'm just going to pop those onto there. 1, 2, 3. Just turn around and do that on the other side as well. Bring that in. It's just made that a bit easier for myself. And these pearls came with, I think it was the Year of Craft box. And Crafter's Companion, so there we go. Okay, so that's the card all finished. So we'll just switch that on so you can see. That's that there. Obviously it's not showing up so well in the daylight, but when the night comes that's obviously going to be a lot better. So this card, it's going to be sent to somebody that watches my channel actually. So his name is Tim. He's sort of a friend of the extended family, but he watches, he's been a regular viewer of my sister's channel. My sister does a channel with her dolls. She collects Art Reborn dolls, so she collects them, and he's been a regular viewer and supporter of her, and I know he's been watching my channel as well. So next time the kids come down this way, I'm going to pop that in an envelope for you, and that'll be yours, Tim. Okay, as a thank you. So that's it for today. I'm going back to Hunky Dory after today. I'm hopefully going to get back into doing regular ones again, and then we'll see where we go from there. But thank you for watching. Really do appreciate your support as always. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.